Hello, candle lovers. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Greg. This is all about candles. I'm your self-proclaimed Canadian candle connoisseur. And today I have the weekly wax wrap up for you. This is a really quick synopsis and breakdown of all the candles that I finished burning this week, how they performed, how they smelled, etc., etc., etc. Let's just dive right into things, shall we? I finished up a laundry day this week. Yes, I do like laundry day, and yes, I do get it every once in a while. I believe this is like the White Barn core version from last spring. I like laundry scents, I like linen scents, I like strong scents, and so laundry day is right up my alley. I do have to say that I think I like sun-drenched linen a little bit more. I think that it's a little bit more nuanced and lovely, but this one is such a powerhouse. The scent notes on laundry day are fresh air, crisp eucalyptus, and soft lavender. And you know, lavender makes sense because a whole lot of lavender, a whole lot of like a sharp, bright, high-ranging lavender can come across as quite soapy, and this is a quite soapy candle. But I really do enjoy it, and I really do like burning it when I'm like tidying up around my place and doing the laundry and cleaning. It's just like a really nice, fresh, clean fragrance, and this is strong. I'd say that laundry day is like a 9. I think that every iteration I've ever burned of it is a 9 for strength and throw. If you're not gonna give a candle like laundry day a 9 out of 10 for strength and throw, I don't know what candle is a 9 out of 10 for strength and throw. I burned this all the way down until it extinguished itself. It had thin core wicks and it had a really nice clean burn. It did burn really hot and really quick. It pooled out quick. I'd say limit this to a 2-hour burn and make sure you're trimming those wicks in between every burn, but it really delivers exactly what you want in a really quick 1-2 punch. And I like laundry day once in a while. I think I have 1 or 2 still stowed away in my collection. Every now and then I'm into it, especially in the spring and the summer. Yeah, and it's just a really, really sharp laundry lavender fragrance that I do quite enjoy. I enjoy the soapiness of it all. What else did I finish? Sunrise Marina. This is a Sunrise Marina from last summer. I don't know a lot about the history of this candle, but I don't think it comes out that often. It's a pretty generic bergamot fragrance to me. The scent notes are coastal air, blue cypress, and oud wood. They leave the bergamot note out of the scent notes of this candle, I guess to try to differentiate it from all of the other candles like this that are so similar. I do get what makes this a little bit different is the cypress note, because it is definitely like a piney cypress note in there, with a top level of like a bright, zesty, aquatic bergamot, a little bit of wood in the mid. And there isn't much base to this candle. I think it says oud wood. I don't think that I would pick out the oud wood, but there is definitely something a little bit darker on the bottom. It is a pretty top-heavy candle, and I wouldn't say it's nicely balanced. It just ranges a little bit too high and sharp for me. It looked lovely when it was burning though. I really liked this blue. It looked really nice when it was burning, and it burned quite well. There's a crack in the wax. I did end up burning the last bit of it outside, not because it was like dirty or sooting or anything. I just burned the rest of this one outside, and then I think I left it out there overnight and it got chilly and cracked on me. Really nice clean burn all the way down to the bottom. It had sort of thick ropey wicks on it, but it didn't do the sort of halfway point dud out situation. It was a pretty strong performer from top to bottom. I'd say that it was about a 6.5 or a 7 for strength and throw. Not the most interesting candle, but it was a pretty nice sort of like late summer burn for me. So yeah, I enjoyed that one. I also finished up Hopper's Coffee. I do enjoy burning coffee fragrances in like the mornings and the like early afternoons sometimes. Yeah, so Hopper is like the old like curmudgeon-y sheriff who works in the town where all of these like kids in the 80s are being haunted by demigorgons and evil spirits, and there's like an upside down world, and Hopper is the sheriff and basically Winona Ryder's love interest in the show. Pretty sure that this is a repackage of freshly brewed coffee. The scent notes on it are roasted coffee grounds, tonka bean, splash of half and half. And yeah, no, it's not a Paris cafe. I think the candle that it's closest to is freshly brewed coffee. I wouldn't vouch 100% that I'm convinced it's a complete repackage, because I seem to remember freshly brewed coffee being a little bit stronger last year. I feel like that candle got to an 8. I haven't burned this year's version, but Hopper's coffee, I'd say strength and throw was about a 7. And it was pretty consistent in a 7, and that's in a bit of a more open space as well. Really super clean burn all the way down to the bottom. I also caught a moth with this candle when I was burning it outside at some point, but look at how clean and white that wax is. It was a really nice clean burn all the way from top to bottom. Solid, consistent 7 for strength and throw. Not a repurchase for me because there's so many candles like this. I don't need to search for another Hopper's coffee, but it was nice. It was nice. It was nice. It was okay. Would I repurchase it? No. Will I recommend it to you? Sure. I'm not sure if you can get it anymore. I did see this at a Bath and Body Works when I was there about 2 weeks ago. They already had like the new Stranger Things candles out, but they also had Eleven's Waffles, Argyle's Pineapple Pizza, and Hopper's Coffee. So Steve's Scoops was the only one that sold out really quickly at that store. I was actually at a location that's a bit bigger than the location that I usually go to, so I was kind of surprised to see that there are still so many of these left in store, but yeah, it was all right. It was all right. Nothing to write home about. I also picked up and finished a whipped cream and cashmere. This candle was a bit of a bummer, and I loved the fragrance. The fragrance is soft cashmere, amber sandalwood, jasmine, and vanilla. Like right up my alley, you guys. It was a beautiful fragrance. It does remind me a fair bit of Snowflakes in Cashmere from Bath and Body Works. And I really like Snowflakes in Cashmere. I'd say that this one is a little bit more bassy than Snowflakes in Cashmere is. You have a really creamy vanilla in the middle range, something woodsy in the sort of middle range with that. And like the bottom is a really smooth, sort of fresh linen-y cashmere. And I absolutely loved this fragrance, but look at that wax. Like this wax just, it turned on a dime and it got really dark and swirly. I am at about this point here. And so I ended up putting it in my candle crock. I always put an X on the bottom of my candles if they've been in a crock. And there's not that much left in here because I cooked it pretty good. And the candle crock, I'd say this got up to like an 8, but I didn't keep it going for very long because I could tell that the fragrance had been corrupted a little bit. And so I really enjoyed the first, what would it be? I really enjoyed the first 2/3 of this candle, but man, you turn your back on it for 1 second and Goose Creek, like really, really dirty, unacceptable situation. And I'm really careful about limiting the burns, trimming the wicks, etc., etc. Burning this candle, I'd say strength and throw was a 7, a good solid 7 in like a more open area. In my crock, it got up to an ate, but I didn't do that for very long. Not a repurchase or a recommendation. As much as I love the fragrance, and I love the fragrance so much, let me backtrack a little. I actually have repurchased it because I repurchased it before I even burned this one. I just loved the fragrance so much that I did get another. And so the second one, I'm only gonna burn the first half of it and then put the rest of it in a under a lamp or in a crock before it does this again. So yeah, it was a repurchase for me, although it won't be moving forward. And I just can't recommend a candle that looks this poorly at the 1/3 mark. I can't recommend it, but it was a beautiful fragrance. I recommend the fragrance and not the candle. Yeah, it was nice. It was really nice. What a shame. I'll see how the second one does, maybe next spring. I called this collection, by the way, I call this collection the Grandma's Porch collection. All of these candles look like a picture of your grandma's porch. Yeah, great fragrance, man. What a freaking bummer. Also from Goose Creek, I finished this Marshmallow Cream Gelato, and it was okay. The scent notes on this are marshmallows, vanilla cream, sweet sugar, and creamy gelato. My main issue with this was that I was not getting a marshmallow cream gelato vibe. I was getting like a toasted marshmallow over the fire type of vibe. There was nothing about this that sort of gave me a whipped impression or an ice cream impression or a gelato impression. There was almost something, when it was burning, there was something kind of smoky about it. I don't know if that was intentional or not. It performed really well up until the last third, and I guess I called it a day at this point because I saw it sooting a little bit and the wax had turned a not so great color. Strength and throw was good though. I'd say that it was like a 7 in my more open area, which is where I kept it. But yeah, not a marshmallow gelato. This is a marshmallow getting roasted on a stick over the fire, which I like, and I enjoyed it. I did enjoy the first bit of the candle, but I sound like a broken record here, Goose Creek. The last third of it just got nasty and dirty and sooty, and I just couldn't anymore. The scent absolutely started to smell icky, and yeah. Oh, Goose Creek, great fragrances. Like, you really know how to give us what we want in terms of fragrances, but the performance on the last third of your candles is just unacceptable sometimes, like even worse than Bath and Body Works is sometimes, honestly. I also finished up, my Seaweed candle. This was a single wick candle that a friend gave me. He told me that it was about $33. I had to ask him for the sake of the channel. This was a really, really beautiful, bright, oceany, aquatic, briny fragrance. I absolutely loved it. This was a single wick and it was a 10-ounce candle, an 80-hour burn time. I've been burning this all summer long. I would burn it probably for like 5-hour increments, like a couple of times a week for quite a while. And I'm so impressed with how this candle smelled and performed. This is a company called Calistyle, and this is their Swedish Dream Fresh from the Sea Seaweed candle. It says, fresh from the sea to light up your day and night comes the Seaweed candle. Made with 100% domestically grown sustainable soy, this high quality candle delivers a clean 80-hour burn time. Our signature seaweed scent is warm and beachy with light floral hints, just like a summer breeze. So yeah, 10 ounces, 80 hours of burn. The soy wax burns clean, biodegradable, non-toxic, pure cotton wick. For best results, burn 2 to 5 hours at a time. And I love that they gave me this little tip here. It says, remove candle from package before lighting. Really? You should remove it from the package before lighting? I don't want to give this company a hard time. They're called Callous Style. They have a really great website with all kinds of body care and candles. It's a female-owned company with a real commitment to doing good things for the environment, and I can really get behind that. Because this was a beautiful fragrance. It lasted forever. It pooled out quickly, and it was a 7 for strength and throw. And in fact, I'd say that some of the burns on it, when I let it go for 3, 4, or 5 hours, I think it got up to a 7.5. I did keep it in a hurricane for most of the time, and it was definitely a 7.5 in a hurricane. But I also burned it outside of the hurricane, and it was still like a 7. And that is in a regular open space, like the same open space I'm rating most of these candles in. So you can find really great single wicks with lovely fragrances that perform really well. It was a $33 candle, but I consider that money well spent for my friend who gave it to me. Thanks, David. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys today in terms of candles. Once again, this Sunday, I am not actually here. I have flown to Victoria, BC to spend some time with my friends Mike and Amber. They have a beautiful home on the island of Victoria. It's one of the most beautiful places in Canada, in my opinion. And every summer they invite me out there to stay with them for 3 or 4 days. And we go on hikes and we go to good restaurants and we drink really good bourbon. And it's just one of my favorite summer traditions. And so I have pre-recorded quite a few videos. So if I'm not responding to comments as quickly as I usually do, that is why. The way that my summer worked out this year, I just had to take all my vacation at the end of the summer. And so now I'm really trying to squeeze things in and hop around and visit everybody and do some fun things with what remains of the summer. Amber and Mike, by the way, my friend Amber, she is a doctor. She is a very, very smart lady. She's my one friend that I've had since high school, and she is extremely allergic to fragrance. When I go to stay with them, being the good house guest that I am, I bring all products with me that are fragrance free. Everything from face wash to deodorant to body wash, everything that I bring there is fragrance free because I don't need to be giving Amber allergic reactions when I'm staying at her house with all of my ridiculous colognes and body creams and whatnot. And I've actually found it such a great palette cleanser. In the summertime, I go there, they don't have any fragrance or anything in their house. All you smell is clean, lovely, fresh, bright Victoria sea air when I'm there. And it's actually quite lovely, and it really does cleanse my palate. And then by the time I come back into the city with all my candles and stuff like that, it is kind of like I'm smelling things again for the first time. So stay tuned for that, you guys. My long weekend without fragrance. It is possible. It is possible. The things that you gotta do for a good, warm, generous friend, right, folks? So yeah, I'm probably having a wonderful time in Victoria right now. I'm sure I will post some updates and respond to comments when I can. Thank you for hanging in there with me. I really appreciate it. If you could give me a thumbs up on this video, leave me a comment if you have anything to say about any of these candles. You should absolutely subscribe to my channel and tell your friends, your family, your dog, and your cat to also subscribe to this channel. And you can follow me on Instagram at allabootcandles. You can email me allabootcandles@gmail.com. And so until next time, my dear, gorgeous, beautiful, candle-loving friends, let's burn some candles and bitch about it. Thanks, folks. Bye now.